Hollow Knight Silksong fans have been eating good ever since the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. There's been tons of little bits and pieces of news, and it's time that we put it all together in one place so you can keep up. I know that not everybody can watch a deep dive of 30 minutes into a 9-second piece of footage. I get it. So let's do something a little bit high-level overview, and let's just look at all the little different pieces that have been released. And if you want to take a deeper dive into stuff, I'll go ahead and leave links down in the description below. So first and foremost, can you even call yourself a Hollow Knight Silksong fan if you didn't know that Hollow Knight Silksong was announced at the Nintendo Direct on April 2nd? So we got this footage here, and that was it. It came, it went, it was so fast, there really wasn't a whole lot there. But I'm not gonna lie, I was super excited for this footage. I'm sure you were too, and the main reason is that it says that Hollow Knight Silksong will be releasing in 2025. So there's that to be very, very excited for. But that wasn't the only piece of information that we got on April 2nd. Shortly after the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, we found out that there was a brand new key art as well as 4 screenshots shared by Nintendo in a press kit. So it went out to a couple of different websites like Go Nintendo, and here are the images here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then on top of that, our very own Cadaea also got access to the press kit, which I'm just very excited that we got somebody on the inside who's getting these images nice and early. So she made a video showing off the new images as well as kind of just letting us know that they were even available. The last piece of information we got on April 2nd was from the Nintendo UK Twitter account, and over on here they said that Hollow Knight Silksong will be arriving on the Nintendo Switch 2 this year. So they're reiterating that the game's coming out in 2025, which I love to hear. Let's go. And the thing that's a little bit weird here is that it says it's coming on the Nintendo Switch 2 with no mention of the Nintendo Switch, because there are several other games on here that were announcing that the games are going to be coming out on the Nintendo Switch as well as the Nintendo Switch 2. So I thought that that was a little bit strange, but everyone's like, they've been developing for the Nintendo Switch for so long. Of course it's gonna come out on the Nintendo Switch, but put a pin on that for now. After that, we had a little bit of a break until April 7th, and that's when it was found on the Nintendo Japan Nintendo Store that Hollow Knight Silksong, one, they updated their key art, but more importantly, they updated 3 new pictures here that we haven't seen before. They're in areas that we've already seen before, but there are little details and things that have changed, which was really excited. Again, I've done like a deep dive, probably more than I should have, on all of these things. So again, links are in the description, and hit that like button if you're enjoying this. Oh, I almost forgot to mention that if we scroll down a little bit further, one thing that is interesting is for the target body, it says the Nintendo Switch 2. And if you click on what is a target body, when the Nintendo Switch 2 is selected, it says about the target device. It looks like it says it can only be played on the Nintendo Switch 2. It cannot be played on a Nintendo Switch OLED. And so this is twice that we've seen Hollow Knight Silksong say Nintendo Switch 2 with no mention of being playable on the Nintendo Switch. That's a little strange. So I actually reached out to Leth directly and said, hey, we've got multiple different things that are all fresh, all coming from Nintendo saying Nintendo Switch 2. Are we actually going to see it on the Nintendo Switch? Because I wasn't the only one with this question. I saw tons of comments asking if it's coming out to the Nintendo Switch. And Leth actually replied. So if you don't know who Leth is the marketing and publishing director for Hollow Knight and also for Crowsworn. In fact, he had his banner as Crowsworn up until just recently. He changed it to Hollow Knight Silksong, which is even more like confirmation that Hollow Knight Silksong, it could be coming out this year. No. It will be coming out this year. We, the hopers, are finally in control. And yes, Silksong is coming out this year, and I think it's sooner than we think. Anyways, Matthew Griffin says, just to clarify, Hollow Knight Silksong is coming out to both Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2, which I love to hear, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. I like this. This made me happy. To be clear, the only reason why I reached out to Leth is because some people were super confused, and I wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page, specifically Primicon. I mean, this man, Nintendo Switch 2 only? Was it that confusing? I would have to argue yes, because I did a collab with Primicon, and we were both looking at this whole thing about the target device in Nintendo Switch 2. We were both confused. It wasn't just Primicon, it was me too. But yeah, you have to go check out that. That was a fun little collab, looking at all the stuff at the same time. Moving on to the next biggest piece of information, and that has to be that on April 8th, there was a trailer that was missed by the Hollow Knight Silksong community, and it was put out by a museum in Australia. Specifically, the ACMI, these people here, which stands for the Australian Centre for the Moving Image. And so I had no idea what this was. I completely missed this. I'm not looking at trailers from museums, but they are announcing Game Worlds, and it's specifically a new playable exhibition coming to ACMI this September. Interesting. Well, what's really interesting is that if we take a look at the trailer, it is got some stuff in here where it says Hollow Knight Silksong. And if we keep watching this little bit of the trailer, it doesn't say it just once. It says it a couple of times right here, Hollow Knight. Then right here, Silksong. It's big. It's right in our faces. It's right there. Hollow Knight Silksong is going to be at this playable exhibition, and it is coming in September. So they even say in here that it's going to include games like World of Warcraft, The Sims, and the highly anticipated Australian title for 2025. What other highly anticipated Australian title for 2025 are we looking at? For sure, Hollow Knight Silksong. And another note about this museum in particular, my understanding is this is the same museum where there's a notebook from Hollow Knight Silksong, like the developer's sketchbook that's in the museum. So they're not like completely new to this space. They've actually put some stuff in this museum before, which I think is really cool. I would like to go visit. I would love to go to Australia. I've got a wife and 3 kids and a full-time job that's not YouTube. I can't just drop everything and go unless they want to fly me out, and then maybe I can make something happen. Anyways, well, this says play some of the world's favorite games in ways you've never been able to before with exclusive custom builds, explore original design materials, concept art. Okay, I could see it being some sort of concept art, and iconic objects from across genres, including indie games and AAA masterpieces. We don't know if we're gonna see Hollow Knight Silksong demo, but it's already been played before. So is it gonna be an extended demo? Is it going to be the full game? Is it gonna be like the concept stuff from Hollow Knight Silksong? I don't know, but it is really exciting to think that there is something Hollow Knight Silksong there, and not only that, it's going to be playable, because that's what this thing is. It is a playable exhibition, and I think that's really, really cool. It's going to run from Thursday, September 18th, all the way until Sunday, February 8th of 2026. So it's running for a good long while. So if you get a chance to go, make sure to message me and let me know it's there. Take some pictures, send it my way. I would love to see it. Oh, and if I didn't say before, that was found on April 8th. It actually was up for about 5 days before that this was actually found. So yeah, it was missed for a while that this little trailer that they had included Hollow Knight Silksong, but it was sleuthed and it was found, which I think is cool. So another thing that also happened on April 8th was on the Hollow Knight Kickstarter backer page. They have an area for comments, and one of the backers posted a comment that was basically just asking, hey, how are we going to get Hollow Knight Silksong? I don't remember how we got the keys before. And Team Cherry just replied saying, hey, thanks for checking in. We'll be reaching out prior to launch of Silksong to survey backers for their current email addresses and their platforms of choice. It's just nice to see that Team Cherry is reaching out, responding to comments, which is awesome. That's 6 days ago for this video, April 8th. Cool. Not major news. It just means that Team Cherry didn't forget how to log into their Kickstarter account. I don't know. It's not really a thing. Again, it's just those little pieces of information it's all coming together. And last but not least, which is by far the smallest nothing burger of information, but some people thought it was information, was that on the Steam store page, there is an area for popular upcoming for the Metroidvania tag specifically. If you scroll down a little ways, Hollow Knight Silksong is in here, and it says coming soon. And so people have put together between April 30th release date for Orange, you glad I didn't say banana, and May 9th, Hollow Knight Silksong's in between those 2 dates. Does it mean anything? No. Don't put any stock into that whatsoever. Does not matter. If you actually click on the page, still says to be announced. We don't know exactly when Hollow Knight Silksong is going to come. We do know that it's coming out this year, and I do put my stock into that. I do think that that's when it's going to be. Based on all of the information we've got, one, I don't think we're going to get any more information until June. I don't think that there's another showcase. I don't think there's another announcement. There's nothing else that's going to happen until Summer Game Fest. And so if you don't know what Summer Game Fest is kind of like the replacement for E3. If you don't know, even know what that was, in summer, there's a big showcase where game devs, they announce all the games that are coming out usually within the next year, maybe even a couple of years. Some games they announce really, really early. Summer Game Fest is the main showcase that's coming out on June 6th. Which is one day after the Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th. And then on top of that, the next best chance that we have for Hollow Knight Silksong getting some sort of announcement, release date, and all that good stuff is the Xbox Games Showcase on June 8th. Could be one of those dates. There's a chance that there's a Nintendo thing somewhere in there. I'm just saying June in general, we could see some Hollow Knight Silksong news. That's when I think it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to see it the second half of the year, October, November, December. I'm really hoping for June, maybe July. I think they release something for the summertime. Anyways, I digress. I was getting way too much into my opinion over just sharing the facts of what has happened over the last, I don't know, couple of weeks. All that to say, I'm super excited for Hollow Knight Silksong. I will leave links both in the description. Also put some videos on the screen. Go ahead and watch the deep dive. Why not? Just splurge on all the Hollow Knight Silksong potential stuff because you're here. And you can. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my members for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Again, my name is Relyea, and I'll talk to you again more real soon. Thanks. Bye.